There's my husband, Bob. Hey, Bob. So welcome, everybody. We're going to talk about needle cases. We're going to talk about some mother of pearl buttons. And also, I'm going to talk about the Women's Institute, which has its 105th anniversary of the founding of the school is this month. So I'm doing a little more with the story of the Women's Institute. So to start with, I'm going to tell you about our giveaway. Remember, if everybody stays on till the end and comments, you'll have a chance to win. And today, since I was going to talk about buttons again, I thought, why not? We'll share the Buttonware book. So, and there's Lynn. Hi, Lynn. Thanks for hopping on. So Buttonware, bracelets like I'm wearing, I'm going to show you those, are in the book. So this book has jewelry you can make, and it also has even like wearables, fun applique sweatshirts with buttons. It has rings, what else? Earrings, bracelets, pendants. Here's examples of the some of the rings that are just made with like elastic, black elastic, and then the button sewn on. So there you have it, Buttonware. All right, this is the what I mentioned were some needle cases. So here are some fun examples of needle cases in my collection. Some of you, I've shared this particular sewing circle needle case before. And then here is a really fun example of a needle case called My Own. And I just loved the kids fighting over the needle as I'm guessing their mother is quietly stitching while they're arguing over their giant needle or sword. So one fun thing I thought I'd do is we could write a caption for this graphic on the Facebook page. Hi, Patricia. Thanks for jumping on. So again, if you have a fun caption, I thought on Friday in this, cold day where I know there's a lot of struggles going on around the country right now, that we could have some fun with our vintage notions today and maybe write a fun caption. So if you're on the Amy Barackman Studio page or you see my post, add a caption. Think of something fun for that. So needle cases are what I mentioned, and this is, I happened to find this. I purchased these on eBay, so I'm going to unbox them for you. And when I saw this post on eBay, I thought this was a really nice collection. I really don't need any more needle cases, let's say. Hey, Mary. There's Mary Meyer. Good to see you, Mary. I'm going to share some needle cases. And so in this little bag that came in the mail, I'll show you the needle case that really caught my eye when I saw it on the eBay offering. And it was this one. And it's called the Weekend Needle Case. And it has just a fun graphic of, hi, Carolyn, how are you? I don't see Donna on here. I'm wondering if she's late to the party. My mom, Donna, I'm speaking of. So isn't this a fun graphic? And you can see looks like a four-door sedan, and then the back of it. So obviously this weekend was at the beach. So needle cases were used for advertising. Many times they were advertising, and many of them not only have really interesting and beautiful graphics on the cover, but then I always find looking inside is interesting too. And you can see just the scroll art here, the attention to detail with the pretty foil colors that are added too. And let's see, this says rust-proof needles. But actually I think after all these years, I think they've rusted. But this is the Weekend needle case that was in my package. And then I loved this little treasure. And this says Broadway, the Broadway needle assortment. And on this one, I found the little kitties playing with, hey, Sally, welcome. Thanks for hopping on. The kitties playing with their balls of yarn. And you can see the pin cushion up here in the graphic and the little work basket down below. And this is the Broadway brand. Let's see what it looks like inside. Again, you can see how gorgeous the design is for not only the cover, but the underpaper as well as the gold foil on the actual needle where the needles are. So this opens up and I see needles, and I believe if I lift this, I'll see needles under there. So you can see just the fun details that the graphic design. And this is one that I've seen more often when I've been at shows and searching for vintage. This is the Army and Navy needle book. And you can see the color there is really quite charming. And then, hey, Cindy, welcome. Thanks for watching. And then look at the eagle on the back. Isn't he gorgeous? I have a special place in my heart for eagles, most recently because I've been able to photograph some up in Michigan in their nests. And so there's the eagle with some arrows. But again, this is the Army Navy. Show you inside. And then this crescent, I thought this was really fun. The crescent needle case. And on the back, it looks like it has, again, probably advertising for maybe a store, a particular store or a particular brand. And beautiful inside with that blue, that vintage blue color. So that is the crescent needle case. And I think in Tiny, I think she's actually threading a needle. You can see in her tiny little hands. Piccadilly, so this one wasn't in great shape. So sometimes on eBay, when you find things, you might have like two really nice pieces in the collection. Hi, Lee, thanks for hopping on. But then you might have some other, items that aren't quite the condition, the good condition, because I think a lot of people try to mix it up and, ultimately you might be buying that lot of vintage notions or fabrics for one particular fabric that you really love. But I did notice, I thought this was kind of fun with the airplane graphic on it. And that's Piccadilly. And let's see what this one looks like. Ooh, inside. Specialty needles known the world over. So there's the interesting... How we doing over there? Michelle's watching. Everybody hop on. Are we getting some comments? So people might want to, if people might want to win the Buttonware book, don't forget a comment. Say hello to me. Tell me where you're watching from. And if you have a favorite one of these needle cases, you could comment on that and let me know. So this was Piccadilly. Oh, and good. There's Donna. Hi, Mom. Good to see you made it on. We're talking about needle cases today. So this is the Piccadilly. And now I did remember that I had a Piccadilly already in my collection. And so I pulled that one. So this one is one that I've had in my collection. This is my new Piccadilly. But again, here you can see what I thought was interesting on this one is the little half doll you see here that probably was a pincushion. And matter of fact, my mom, Donna, who's on right now watching, she has a collection of half dolls that were all at one time attached to a pincushion. So interesting enough, you're learning about that. And you can again see the graphic on this, pretty special with the work basket and all the items falling out of it, the spools. Hi, Susan. Thanks for jumping on. So keep in mind too, on amyberrickman.com, if you like these type of graphics, we have an image library that we sell PDFs of this type of artwork that relates to our sewing notions and tools. So if you need, you can print it on fabric and even make your own needle case with these images. You could print it on paper and make note cards for your sewing friends as a fun gift. So keep in mind, you'll want to look at amyberrickman.com to find these types of graphics. And Michelle is telling me I have maybe
a question.
We have a question.
Lee
Great.
is asking if the Piccadilly needles are from England.
You know, I believe, my guess is they would be. Let's look and see. You know what? I think they definitely are. And do you know why it is that? You know, the unicorn and the lion are the symbol of Great Britain. And so you can see that right here. And I forgot, I think the unicorn is Scotland and the lion stands for England. So, yes, it looks to me like they are English needles.
Do you know what year they're from?
You know what? I do have a date on another one of the needle cases that I saw, but I wasn't sure that I saw a date on these. But I'm going to research that. And my friend, I just actually communicated with my friend, Tenny Roche. And Tenny is a fabulous, hey, Betty, nice to see you on. Betty has a wonderful, she's an expert in notions, fabrics, sewing tools. She has a booth many times at Quilt Festival. And yesterday I interviewed her about her collection of vintage bandanas because in our membership group, the Vintage Modern Makers, we are doing a month on bandanas. And when I was talking to her, she will be the one that I will be able to find that kind of information out from. So keep that in mind. But I'll show you this is the one that I saw a date on. And it is, the date was 1896. So this is definitely one of the oldest, probably needle cases. And it was in my little eBay collection that I bought. But you can see this was called the Magnolia needle case, and it had Belgium on it, and up in the corner, it also had Chicago, which I thought was interesting. 1893, yep, 1893. So you can see, I know I have light here that makes it harder for you to sometimes see things, but this was just a real simple, being that this is an earlier needle case, just very, very plain, and just the 2-color printing versus maybe the 4-color or 8-color printing. So that is the Magnolia needle case. So maybe in the next few weeks I'll have more information on the dating of these and be able to give you a little more detail on them. Let me make sure I've shown you. Oh, this one more little tiny one. This is just, let's see, I couldn't remember. Queen Royal. So I imagine that many of these early needle cases were imported from Britain. Because what I learned from Tenny is that yesterday that we were not, the colonies were not allowed to print fabric. We had to, before the American Revolution, all of the textiles had to be imported from Britain. So I imagine that was probably something similar, that was one of those, rules that we were living by as the colonies. So potentially most of our needles were imported too. And there's Geraldine. Thanks for jumping on. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing some of my fun needle cases. And again, if you have a favorite, I'll remind you there was the Crescent, the Weekend needle case, the Army and Navy needle book, we had the Broadway needle book with the little kitties, right? And the Piccadilly. So hopefully you've enjoyed seeing some of those graphics. And now I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the Women's Institute, and it being their birthday is coming up. And unfortunately, we won't be celebrating it exactly on the day that it happened, because the school was founded on leap year, February 29th, 1916. And this, I showed you, I think last week, one of the inspiration issues. This was the fourth, there's Mary Brooks Picken, the founder, and this was the 4th anniversary of the school's founding. And many of the content within these inspiration issues that I've collected has been added and assembled into and edited and curated into my Vintage Notions monthly series. So this is the February, or issue 2. There are a total of 24 issues, but I wanted to share with you, first of all, it's really beautiful graphic. This is the original fashion service. So there were 2 publications that the Women's Institute created and published. One was Inspiration and the other was Fashion Service. And Fashion Service was more of the pattern guide. So if you were a member of the Institute, you received this magazine, and it would guide you through the latest styles and what patterns you might want to purchase. And just to give you another example of it, this was a 1930s version of the Fashion Service issues. And before, the earliest Fashion Service actually looked like this. They were just plain, simple graphics with the silhouette of the right there. And this, just for fun, I thought I'd show you this one, which is 100 years ago. This is fall and winter 1920 to 1921. So 100 years ago, I'm going to show you one style that really I thought was like, I actually thought I'd love to wear this today or try to recreate it. So this, and what I loved was the embroidered detail and then the lace up of the, see if I can show you without the lace up style. And look at her fun bag. Even the back of the garment, they give a nice detail on that. So there you go. 100 years ago, fashion from the Women's Institute and their fashion service issues. So my collection of, I've literally collected, I think, almost every issue of both Inspiration and Fashion Service that the Women's Institute published. And again, my Vintage Notions book. There's my friend Anne from Muscatine, just in time, Anne. I'm almost to show some mother of pearl buttons. So I've collected the issues and just timeless, wonderful information. I did think I'd show you something really fun in this. What inside, there was this new fashioned, don't you love the way they spell that, ad in color. And then what I thought was really interesting, here they talk about the McCall Pattern Company, and that the McCall pattern line had the patent on the particular, let me read it to you. The printed cutting line, an exclusive patent feature found only on McCall printed patterns, gives assurance the measurements are accurate. So before the lines were printed, actually the garment patterns were perforated and the tissue had dots that had holes in it. So you had to follow those holes in order to assess your sizing. So thanks to McCall's, we have actual printed tissue patterns. And with Indigo Junction, McCall Patterns actually printed which is based in Manhattan, Kansas, actually printed the tissues in Indigo Junction patterns. So just fun fact for you to know about. And there's Marianne. Hi, Marianne. So buttons, I said I was going to share some new button treasures, right? I was trying to figure out how to show them to you I didn't have time to sew them on anything this morning, so I thought I'd pin them here on this. I love this velvet. Everybody loves the tomato pin cushion, right? I bet, how many of you have tomato pin cushions? I can't imagine how many millions of tomato pin cushions there are in the world. And this is, I'm just showing you some of the new mother of pearls I picked up. I went to a store in Kansas City called Fabric Recycles, and they sell secondhand, past loved products for sewing, quilting, and crafting, whether it be fabric, notions, tools, patterns, books. It's just a wonderful store. And when you don't have a lot of access to that product, maybe, or the only choice you have is a bigger mass retailer, it's really nice to go to a smaller shop that has so many different types of items, each unique. So they had a bowl of buttons, 10 cents a button, and I was able to dig out some really beautiful mother of pearl buttons from that bowl. And Erica was there helping me. She was delightful. So if you live in Kansas City or anywhere near Kansas City, I highly recommend a visit over to Fabric Recycles. I want to show you a couple really fun buttons. I loved finding this button right here that was stitched. I need to learn how to do this the opposite way, don't I? This round one. How about I just look at it without looking at the camera? That one, see that nice little halo it has? I just thought that was a pretty one. And then these smoky pearls kind of have a really pretty rainbow effect when you move them around. And then finding this square with the engraving and the detail on that. And once again, another smoky that has some iridescence that's...
Can you take your Wi-Fi off?
Yeah. Oh. It's... How do I do that?
I think you might be live now.
Am I back? I'm back. That's never happened before. Here I go. I'm back. Everybody there? Sorry about that. Thanks for hanging on. Hey, Dawn. We've never had that technical difficulty. Sorry about that. I was just talking about how pretty these flowers were. And there's Ashley and Gail. Hello. Thanks for hanging on. Don't forget to comment. We've got a prize, the Buttonware book. And again, I'll show you how much fun, another use for your mother of pearl buttons. They work so well with, and then one more. Aren't those pretty? These were, I showed you these flowers last week too. And the rose is still happy, and so are the hydrangeas. And there's Margaret. Hi, Margaret. So many uses for mother of pearl buttons. I know some of you have commented in the group at how much fun it is to find these buttons. There's, whether you're going through your button box or you're at an antique shop, an estate sale, it's amazing the buttons that you can find. And, they're all the different uses that we are going to inspire you with for mother of pearl buttons. So keep in mind too, you still have time. I am doing a mother of pearl button seminar with the Sewing and Stitchery Expo, and I'll put that link in the comments again. It's a week from tomorrow and a week from Sunday. There are 2 sessions, and this is a show that is in Puyallup, Washington. we've done the show in person several years. It's fabulous. And I know this year they've got a great lineup of teachers. So you'll want to look at their class list, and it will help you if you might find some other teachers there that you'd like to learn from too. And Carolyn's telling me how great the flowers are at Trader Joe's. And yes, last week I told you about these lilies, and they were from Trader Joe's. So I'm gonna look and make sure I'm on my note card, make sure I covered everything. I told you about the blog post on amybarrickman.com. And so be sure you go look at that to learn more about the Women's Institute history. And I also posted on the blog about the Dressmaking Made Easy, which you can buy printed on Amazon, or we did add a digital PDF of this booklet onto the Amy Barrickman site. So you can learn all about the history of the courses that this school taught, and it's filled with some really interesting graphics and history too. Even photos of the apparel at the time. Again, the school was based in Scranton, Pennsylvania, but this is the 1916 issue when the school was still in New York. Delcy did the design of this, and I love the way we made vintage modern. That's what we like to do. So we talked about the buttons one more time. It's the Buttonware book. Helen's watching. If she comments, maybe she'll be a winner. So there's the Buttonware book. I'll flip through it. Just, this is a nice, when I talked about bracelets, there you can see some of the stacked beaded bracelets. So this book has beautiful photographs in it. I love these bracelets, this style too. And this is just strung on elastic. These are more of the shanked buttons than the flat buttons. Oh, and one more. How about that cuff? And that cuff has mother of pearl buttons on it. And it ties with the ribbon. And you can see some of the nice illustrations too. Thanks, Loretta. We love to share great ideas. We've got a lot more to share. So please, everybody, stay tuned. This is a pendant that is just stacked buttons. So all the places that you can follow along that I'm sharing vintage treasures, DIY ideas. You can follow me on Instagram at Instagram Studio, Amy Barrickman Studio on Instagram, Amy Barrickman _studio. So if you're on Instagram and you haven't followed over there, please do. And then of course you're here in the group, which I appreciate you joining. And hopefully you've signed up for my newsletter and you're following along that way. We're going to be doing weekly blog posts, our regular Friday, 1 o'clock Central, Facebook Lives. We have lots in store for the next few months. So stay tuned and keep coming back to see me here on Fridays. I really appreciate everybody who's watching. And again, I'll remind you, you can share this page, this group with your friends. You can actually go in and invite them to the group, and they will automatically be asked to, and we can just bring them into the group. So this is a fun place to keep in touch with your sewing and your creative friends. So I hope you'll invite some people. It really helps me out when you do that. And again, have a nice weekend. We'll hope everybody's warming up. Oh, Michelle's like, wait a minute, we need to pick a winner, right? Yes, we do. I always, now okay, share now. Okay, I'm back again. This has been a fun day, on and off. Do you see me again, Michelle?
Yeah.
There we are.
Yeah, you're there.
Okay, thanks, Billy. Thank you, everybody. Sorry for the camera issues we've had here today, but we're back and we're going to pick a winner.
Okay. choose
Let's do
somebody. Lynn Hopper.
Lynn Hopper, you are the winner. It is good to laugh, Paula. Thank you. Lynn Hopper, you are the winner. We need your address. So if you can email info@amybarrickman.com your address, that
DM.
or direct message us, that would be ideal. One of those two things. We're really counting on you to let us know your address. Oh, Lynn says thank you. She got the message. Excellent. So we'll want to see maybe what you make with the projects, and maybe you could share them back in the group. Lynn, what do you think? And there's Dawn. She's a former winner. All right. I'm going to say have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Friday at 1 o'clock Central. Thanks for jumping on.